Fuck. I'm sorry. Did I bother you? I'll come back later. Just tell me when. Tell me when. You know what's better? I got a suggestion. Are you ready to listen to this? I'm going to finish off what I started, um, and you can actually change the channel, and we won't be together at the same time. So you won't have to see me now. You can turn me on later if you wish at all. But there's going to be a day that doesn't matter what channel you are going to turn to, you will always see 72 in this world. We have the passage inside two worlds, totaling of 14, but we are already one within the other. So automatically take away two. You know what I'm saying? Because the opposite of a 6 dice is a 1, but you're supposed to shadow it, because if they all had holes from one side to the other side, the light would shine up on the other side if it was made of transparent of some sort. Anyways, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do? Somebody mentioned the word dulce, and I wasn't really sure what the word dulce is, and I still don't know really what dulce is, and she finished the whole thing. But then I decided, okay, let's take it to numbers and find the differences or find the similarities and put it together. So we have start of dulce is D-U-L-C-E. Now you can say it any way you want. If you come up to this word and see it as individual letters, you will look at the D and say, is this D before Ed, or is this D after D? Is it you? How do you say you? Ya? Almost like saying A. Ya. It's actually ya. So the pronunciation, and there's a definite reason that the creator that made this puzzling game put it this way, because that's the way life went. You slip into this world. Your father takes your mother and slips it in. He doesn't take a hammer and a wrench. He places it. It's upon his body, or a test tube. It really doesn't matter what it is. Okay? Everything is a slow roll. That way our bodies can get accustomed to it and we can age gracefully. That's why Monsanto's shit is no good. If we can fight off the bacteria of all the stuff they're putting in the corn and in the grains, I mean, what would be the difference of Monsanto's? But the body cannot. It's almost like, let me compare Monsanto's to my liver. Okay, I go out, I drink 10 whiskeys one night. 8 hours later, I'm okay. I go and I eat Monsanto's generated or molecularly deranged pills, however you want to say it, MSG, or anyways, whatever it is, you know what I'm talking about. But you can't, your liver will take 25 years before it figures out what the hell's inside that Monsanto crap. So in 25 years from now, your liver is now 25 years behind. Now you got liver disease. You fell behind because your body is still trying to figure it out. Our bodies were made to adapt to everything, but it has to be natural. So obviously anything that actually came into us over time, all these big dilemmas, they're not real. They were created. Everything natural takes time, okay? That's why you got a crock pot, because that's what it's all about. You got to put on the top, you got to let it steam out naturally, okay? The way the seed was meant to be. And that's the way man is, and that's one of the reasons we're not living till 900 years old. Well, there's more reasons than that. Yes, our body parts wear out, but if we can regenerate, just like we regenerate a cut, they wouldn't wear out. We wouldn't lose our hair. We would never die. Our hearts would stay as strong forever. Well, of course, we can cleanse our pipes a lot more, but there's a lot of guys who have no fats in their pipes and they're still dying off. One of the reasons for that, basically, y'all have to understand that it is the mind. Our mind must be at peace. When the mind is at peace, it's like winning $1 million, because worrying about money is the mind not at peace. Therefore, you're not worrying about money. It's at peace and you feel fantastic, because one of the things you do not want to worry about is the money part. It's just there. It buys you everything. It buys you the food in the house with the roof on top of it. It buys you time on the internet to get this through and to watch what I'm doing. Anyways, we're going to get back to dulce. Anyways, in the word dulce, okay, the first letter is D, and it sounds like D-E. D-E sounds like day, because when you have a dice in French, it's pronounced that way. J and D. So it says day. And then the U will be Y-O-U, just like you. The L letter would be E-L-L-E. In French, it means her. And then the C letter will be S-E-A or S-E-E-E. And then the E letter will be Eastern Electronics, Earth particles, including dust, spirit, and sprite, the elements creating the avatar who we are inside the game. And what it says, the day you see creation, is what it says in that word dulce. At the same time, if you now, this is, don't forget, it's 5 letters. So in 5, what you can do is you go 1, 2, 3, comma, and then use the beginning of dulce, which is the first 2 letters of the 5. If you follow what I mean. One, two, these are a group. 1, 2, this is a group. 3 and 5 is 8 to heaven. CE. This is E-World creation. What does it mean, CE? The French or the English have to know, because believe it or not, somehow at the end of this world, it comes down to the French and the English at the end. I don't know why. Israel can be involved all at once, but the end of this story ends with the English. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Maybe it's an English Jew. Maybe that's what it is. The story will end by an English Jew that lives in Quebec. That's a French place. So now we've really reconnected the entire globe, right? Maybe the wars will be down in the Middle East, but the reality of putting this world back together might just be in the far east of the North Americans, down here in Quebec. One of the best places. I would never move from Quebec for many reasons. And I think we're going to be the last to be manipulated, or we were the first to be manipulated. So at least we're on one side or the other. At least we know basically where we're going. Of course, we need a million changes. Like I told you, I'm coming up with a plan that we never fall into debt again. Anyways, so what we have with dulce, okay, is 4 and 21 is 25, which is 1/4. Deux means 2. 1/4 of her. Her meaning the person. So we have this and this, 25. This and this is a heaven. We have 1/4, dus, of the soft heaven. 25 and 8. 25 and 8 is 33, command and create. We use the inside here, okay, as an element to connect either with up here, or with down here, or with the 3 in the center. This would be 3, 2 and 1, 3. 1 and 2, 3, 3. 4, 3, 3, 3 is what it would be. Or 4 and 5, top and bottom, which would be 9, the birth of 2. And over here, 21 and 3, which is 24, of X-Man. 2 and 4 is 8, is 6 man. 2 times 4 is 8 to heaven. 8 and 6 is 14, the 14th letter N. That's the N pass to the E world. Why is it the N pass to the E world? Because N is a sound of EN. So EN or NE, nay, means to be birthed. It also means to be known, a benign birth. Not a benign, whatever, but it's a benign birth. Anyways, you have the 9 and the 9. So anyways, you would have 9 up here, and then you have 21 and 24 is 12. 2 and 1 is 3, that I already mentioned. And then you have 12 in the center. Anyways, whatever it is, it ends up like this. One of the reasons for the E letter, because if you would redraw one on the other side, when they flip up into each other, these 3 teeth and these 3 teeth, they touch, energizing the 2, 5, and 8 center. That's nothing there. When these 2 flip up, they center on each other. These 2 cross over each other short. These 2 cross over long, making up the cube. But you're only using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are your stabilizers. It's a passage. It's a holding on to where the electricity, where the current connects. It's almost like saying, you know, over here, the devil's got his pitchfork. The question is, we're going to jump off at dulce for a second. No, we're going to go to the devil after. I'm going to go back to the number because it's on the bottom, where it creates the 9 with 4 and 5, which is 5, 4, love, 4, 5, the foxhole, or 3, 3, 3, command and create creation. 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. 8, the first and the last, 4, 4, 4. 4 times 4 equals to 1332, which is the same thing as just actually saying, you see 23 is the passage. Spirit, creation, 33 in between, alpha, beta on the outside. I know I should not even show you this because there's just too much. But anyways, to show you that on a dice cube, okay, it comes out to 64, which is Israel, or man and angel, and then 45, which means the foxhole, and 44 means the space of. 65 on the outside happens to be the wolf, or 56. 5 by 6 is 30, 5 and 6 is 11, creating the number 41, which is the Mediterranean number 41. Anyways, I just wrote one little thing here, and again on dulce, and dulce, if you remove the L in the word dulce, okay, and put it before the U, you actually would have lucky if you let the C sound like a K like it does in other situations. You can also let it be a soft C by putting the L in front of the U of dulce and spell it L-U-C-E. Therefore, the D is missing. I put the D at the end because the D is at the beginning as initial, because it's only a reminder of who you actually are at the end, name and number and result on this earth. So what you would have is this. This L goes in front of here, and it says Lucy. The D is for Lucy the Diamonds. The day of the diamond of Lucy. Lucy D. Yada, yada, yada. You know what they say on Scheinfeld? Yada, yada, yada. Because it actually means day of man. Day of the world. Dia Mond. All the world. Day of all the world. Lucy D. And they call it Dulce. So you can also say, if it was, it reminds me when we were little kids of Lucky the dog. The big red dog, Satan. Now, if you question the big red dog is Satan, I have a feeling Satan's working for something even greater. Because if Satan is not working for something greater, Satan is a girl. Know now that Satan must be female. Satan must be female, or that is the underlord or the overlord, one above or one below, which gives me a lot to work with. I know she's a girl because she's the mastermind. She is the biggest club of all diamonds, of all spirit, of all time. As you all know, I told you before that the club is the mind. It is everything, and you are nothing without it. It doesn't matter whether you have a spade and a shovel to dig if you don't know how to dig. It does not matter if you have a heart if you do not know how to share. It does not matter if you have diamonds forever. If you give nothing to the world, you get nothing in return. But with clubs, it's 3 parts of your mind. Whoop! Oh my God. Hit you in the head with a stick. You hit me in the head with a stick. Yeah, I'm X-Man. I just want to remind you, you're at the crossroads of life. You better understand whether the scissors is making your life hard to go up or whether you're living a more balanced life, whether you're a little bit down on the scale, whether you're a little bit up on the scale. Back to connection. This is basically how we are connected. This is spirit world of God, and this is actually, you know what? This, because do you remember in the Da Vinci Code, he was sitting down like this on this angle? Because that's how the beta world goes. Hold on a second. This is how the beta world goes, on this angle. And that's why in the Da Vinci Code, Jesus was on that angle, because he has the tilt, okay, of exactly, he has the right tilt to the foxhole into the other world, the X and the O. Anyways, so she's a girl. Oh my God, they threw a rock at me. Sticks and stones, X's and O's, kisses and love for everybody. If you don't have a club mind, you will not be able to go any further in life. Now my video, the spirit, it came back. So then what I'm going to say to this is, so you got hit with the sticks and stones. We talked about the XO. Now the thing to know about the XO, or even the Y, because if you take part of the X and break off one of the sticks of the X, it looks like a Y, and then you'd say that was Eve's rib, and it actually is, because there's a lot to this and the rest of the story. X is the 24th letter, O is the 15th letter. Let's find things that are divisible. We can put 8 3s in X, and we can put 5 3s in O. 85 miles an hour, the new speed limit in Montana and down in Texas. They're running up and down the 25. Watch out what's going on. Something near the Kentucky Derby having to do with Dulce, getting Lucky, Lucky the dog, Satan's coming out, the Kentucky Derby, the Olympics this summer. Something has to happen, my friends, in order to get that army on the streets. I can't believe it. We are hitting tomorrow the 92nd day of the year. The only time this day ever happens is every 4 years. That every 4 years, that February 29th is also the 29th day, and then the 92nd day is April 1st, which is April Fool's, which is normally 3 parts out of 4 years. It falls the 91st day, which is the Spirit Day, on April 1st, and that's why there's the Fool. And this year, guess what? We are the Fool. Something's going on. There's a birth of something coming out. April, this is the last one. It's the only time it can ever happen. 40 cycles of 50 years, the golden age. 40 is the monopoly. We jump onto the Mediterranean right now. The seas have opened. Something connects the Mediterranean and that Baltic. I know I jumped on and off, but I'll get back to something else right now. So the club is 3 parts of the mind. And then I went on to the X and the O. Together, they total the 24th and 15th letter, number 39. 39 stands for, yes, 3 by 3 is 9. The 3 sections of levels of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9. And it also represents the number 10. Okay, and other stuff that I just can't remember right now, but it represents number 10. 10 represents perfection, and the absolute words, not like pi, that finish off, have a direct meaning, and you can go concrete on what went on between 1 and 2 that created 2 to exist today. Because you may have jumped onto 2, but if you haven't finished creating 2, there is no 2 until it's finished. Because if you never finish this, all you can say is, I tried to make this, we'll call her what? It's just a name. Anyways, now what we're going to go is into double digits, and before the teenage years, you have 10, 11, 12. So if you think about French, the initials TET, which means head, and then you go on, 10, 11, 12 equals 33. Command and create the Christ. Okay. Then you have to go ahead and count the double digits in the teen years. T-E-E-N. T, 20, 5 and 5, E and E, and 14, total 44, which means space. So from 13 to 19, everything means space at the end of its number, meaning space and area, okay, in which the area could be the element of the e-world electronic sprite within yourself that creates you to become the avatar of the number of the human birth, of the name that your parents give you, and the one that falls from beneath your father's cloak. Okay, so then you have 10, 11, 12. Now you got to go 13. Should I add it up? Okay, let's add it up. 13 and 14 to start is 27, and that is God of the beta world, because that's the pairing of the 2 dice. Okay, 15 makes it to 42, which is the same thing as 24, which also represents the numbers 5 and 9. 16 to that makes it 58, which is the reverse of 85, and I told you Texas and Montana. It also standardized and stands for the matrix, and also the word silver. The silver lining, don't forget the 2 colors, the color of water, the color of air, and the color of fire. Just don't forget your colors. Anyways, we have 58 onto 16, and 16 represents the 1 spirit of the 6 islands. 3 and 3 connect. 1, 3, and 3, 1. But they mention it this way because you can create it on 2 dice. Anything under 7. 7, 8, 9 is actually just saying 3, 2, 1. Bring it to a 10, 10. We have to understand where we are in the position in between. If up here is 0 and down here is whatever, 10, in between it's going to tell you the real value of that equation. So then we go to 17 from 58, 68, we get 75. And that is the angle past, that is the gates of Nay. 5 and 14 equals 19. Why is it the gates of Nay? Because Nay in French means birth. Okay, and the gate is the 7th word, which is the God, and the gate is in the position 5, in which the ace takes up the value as a single image, and the value in that area is 5. Just like area 51, which is actual value 51 is 26, and that's one of the reasons they go 622 6, is because I think the second, somebody once asked me what's 622 6. Well, I think there's a part of 26 or 62 that still hasn't been created, so that they can get a continuation of 6 26262626 in order to break in a code to combine everybody. And the reason they can't use one, because one is the actual system that does all the reading, in which the actual system from the other planet that does the reading, that makes the love cover of the totality of who we are, is God, because he's just one big O around the totality of everything that he owns within. So I went to this, and then again in bridge, when you win with clubs, you should be yourself, very proud, because you have the power within to connect with your partner and to understand the opponents in order to beat them, because to win with clubs, it is very rare. And I guess the reason we need the partner is because the two of them and the two of us makes the four-leaf clover as one. When we are four, we are five. We are always connected. We are always connected. There was a couple other things I wrote down here. Anyways, there were a few other things with Dulcie, but it's like Lucy in the sky. And like I said, one of the things I think in this world, again, is I think the women had problem in this world, not because of what man actually did, but actually how man was pushed to do certain things. I think because the evil queen, whoever she may be, that runs this entire world by her decision, as I said, the female is the mind. She knew she had to subdue the females through life, so they can never reach their potential, because they are so much greater than any man can ever be. There are some now that are retaliative to us because of what we've done, or not me, but others, but it's never left our mind. But in the future, when we all learn, when we learn the truth and reality that it really wasn't 100% of us in between, because we still didn't understand actually what life was all about, the meaning, the communication part, and love, which brings on the connection. So it is the evil women. So it's I'm not getting enough women watching my videos, and I've been saying this more than once for the last God knows how much, because he's got the rest of the story. And you guys have been tucked under and pushed away and used, but you love it because you're so sexy, right? But some of you are not, right? But you just know inside. I don't know. I would feel if I was a woman, I would feel sexy no matter what, or I'd want to always be sexy, because I think there's a power inside the sex of a woman. I mean, they screw up. I mean, imagine getting 10 naked ladies in the army. What do? They're the first ones you got to shoot. Why? You don't shoot them now, you are never going to war again. I'm telling you. Put a couple of hundred naked ladies in the field. Just get all the naked ladies in the field. But you know what happens? They hypnotize you. They're not ladies. They're aliens. They're reptilians underneath that skin. And they tell you they're pigs and they're whores. And they tell you whatever they can, until all of a sudden, women's value is nothing. Now all the women ran into the field, and bing bang, they're the first ones gone. Because of what we were taught. I remember what I was taught. Just like I said, if anybody finds that I do know a little bit, that's okay, because my average in school, and my roll, please. Chapter 92, once every 4 years, because that's basically how much time I spent in school after into and out of grade 11. As they threw me out, as I bumped into the principal. But he bumped into me, he turned around, and I turned around. He said, watch out, and I go, what? He says, aren't you going to say you're sorry? For what? I didn't do it. We bumped into each other. Will you say you're sorry? I didn't have the guts or the balls back then, but today, I think we have to stand up, because we lose our liberties if we do not learn to respect the liberties of others. It doesn't mean you have to stop somebody from doing something because you don't like it. Respect their liberties. So what? So what? So what? What's the difference? It, this, or that, who, when, or where. Don't put a number or a time. And what's the difference in between? Please, Raphael 7286. This is a big puzzle. I just want to say one thing. This is insane. My last 6 videos have uploaded in less than 2 minutes. I am in heaven. Do you think it's possibly because I deleted my cookies after 6 months? But then again, it slowed down after 2 weeks. Tomorrow is the first month of the freedom, because 4 has no corners on the cards. Right? Then ace 2 3. Tomorrow, until the 9 card, is different. This is 4 to 9, 5 hours, 5 months, 4 to 9. 4 and 9 is 13, creates the letter M. These are the months of love. This is when at 4 months you go in and you can actually really see the truth about your pregnancy at 4 months. You see, there may be 1 moon on Earth and 2 moons on Mars. And the reason for that is because what happens is Earth does have 2 moons. They have 2 moons, and in fact, none of you have ever actually said or heard or mentioned the truth of the reality of the second moon, because the truth of the second moon, you cannot see it. Not where you're looking. You cannot find it where you're looking. The second moon is your wife. When she gets pregnant, she makes the letter D. She makes the half a moon, and then it comes out. Then there's no more moon for 3 more months that it can start, but then 3 more months so she can actually have another child. It's like 6 months with no moons. No moons. So your wife's baby is the other moon. That's the other part of communication, transferred on internally, okay, from up in the heavens through us, through our breathing, through what you don't see. Listen, hey man, how come it's blocked? I sucked it in as much as I could. My nose is blocked. How's that possible? Am I running out of air? Am I pulling so hard that I'm closing the tube? And that's what I did last year. I closed my TV in September of 2010. Haven't opened it since. I want to thank all those who watch. Maybe you can teach me something. Don't worry, I'm not laughing. I definitely know everybody could. I know I didn't tell you my average in school. My average in school was 26 about in English. I went back, but I also went back to the racetrack at the same time, so I had to go back twice to do that one till I learned my lesson. And then I passed English with something I don't know. I sort of cheated a little bit in French and got 83, but I don't think I would have got much worse than 72 or 27 the other way. Who knows? Doesn't matter. The other part of French, I didn't cheat, and I got a really high mark. Everything else, I basically failed. I really don't know how I got out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I had a better average than 45, 46. And that might be the reason for the way I am today. I don't see things the way everybody else does. I think we can create our own situation. We create our own equations. Creating your own equations inside the libertarian rule, having your own freedom of life. Who cares? Then again, we'll let it go now. I'm still on Ron Paul's side. There's a lot of things to do. Question, should we still go to space? Should we actually be going to space or digging deeper underneath the earth? Maybe. I think our chances of going deeper underneath the earth, we can do maybe make a lot of holes in the earth and tighten it up so we can tighten up the earth from falling apart like ants, like little ants in the earth. We can restructure the format of the earth. Anyways, no more Irish kite. I'm going to leave it like this. You ever see this? All it does is turn and turn. So I got like 8 of these. They go all in a row. You put them together. And anyways, we're going to let it be like this. Raphael, 7286. I'm still on the side of liberty, but everybody has to learn. Everybody has to learn how to communicate. How to communicate and reason for understanding is love and the want to continue the communication because we have no choice.